Module 1, Classification of Pollution and Pollutants. So this is the starting of the first module, and in this topic you will be studying in detail on pollution and pollutants and its different types. Now you may be knowing very well what is pollution. So pollution is nothing but the introduction of some substance into the environment which has harmful or poisonous effects. So I have given 4 different definitions in this slide, so you can study any one of this. It is the effect of undesirable changes in our environment that have harmful effects on plants, animals and human beings, or it is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment, or it can also be defined as the influence of any substance causing nuisance or harmful effects and uneasiness to the organisms. So this pollution has become a very serious problem since World War II. It is mainly due to the rapid industrialization, and it is also one of the main reason for the outbreak of different types of diseases that kill and disable living organisms. Now moving on to the classifications of pollution. So you might have heard a number of types of pollution. I have listed it here: air pollution, water pollution, light, noise, soil contamination, radioactive contamination, thermal pollution, visual pollution, etc. So in this module, in this part, mainly we'll be focusing on some of the important types of pollution categories. First, we will see in detail on air pollution. So air pollution, it is a type of environmental pollution that affects the air and is usually caused by smoke or other harmful gases, mainly oxides of carbon, sulfur and nitrogen. Or in other words, air pollution is the contamination of air due to the presence or introduction of a substance which has a poisonous effect. Okay, I have given the sources of air pollution such as household combustion devices, motor vehicles, industrial facilities, forest fires, etc. And the pollutants which cause air pollution includes particulate matters, then carbon monoxide, ozone, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Now let's see how to control air pollution. So first one is maintaining a healthy distance between industrial buildings and residential buildings, and the chimneys must be constructed to a certain height so that the harmful emissions will be released to a greater heights. Then the sulfur, after burning something, the sulfur or ash must be removed, and the mining area should be planted with trees. You know the role of trees in eliminating pollution. Then the coal fuel must be replaced with gas fuel so that we can control air pollution. Then the automobiles must be designed with emission control system. So this emission control system is actually employed in automobiles in order to limit the discharge of noxious gases from the internal combustion engine and other components. Okay, then the waste must be removed and recycled in the industrial plants and refineries, and also planting trees like pine and rice. These trees will help to metabolize the nitrogen oxides and other pollutants. Then timely servicing of the car helps to keep it in a good condition, and also it minimizes fuel exhaustion. Another step to be taken is choosing public transport system. This also helps to prevent the air pollution. Then using alternative energy sources like solar energy, hydroelectric energy and wind energy. Next is water pollution. So it is a pollution of bodies of water such as lakes, rivers, seas, then oceans, as well as groundwater. So it occurs when pollutants reach these bodies of water without any treatment. Waste from homes, factories and other buildings also get into this water body, and as a result of this, water gets contaminated. Now the polluted water can be domestic sewage water, industrial wastewater, then agricultural wastewater, construction site storm water, then urban runoff. Urban runoff is actually the surface runoff of rainwater created by urbanization. Okay, and then moving on to the different types of water pollutants. So I've listed many water pollutants. You can memorize few names like petroleum, hydrocarbons, plastics, pesticides, heavy metals, sewage, radioactive waste, etc. Now, how will you prevent water pollution? So the first step is to conserve the water by always turning off the tap when not in use. Then you have to be careful when you throw some unwanted things into the sink or toilet, and don't throw paints and oils in water channels. So sometimes these things will get mixed up with some other substances and cause some harmful reactions. Then using environment friendly household products like washing powder, cleaning agents, etc. Then we have to also take great care not to overuse pesticides and fertilizers. Also, don't throw litter or the unwanted rubbish into river, lake water or oceans. So water bodies have to be maintained clean, and thus we can prevent water pollution. Now, once the water is getting polluted, how can you treat it? There are three important steps. One is initially you can filter it. Filtering in the sense you can remove the suspended or the heavy solid particles and inorganic materials using filters. And the second step is using biological filters. So these biological filters actually degrade organic waste materials. And after doing these two steps, if the impurities are still there or if any leftover impurities are present, you can always treat with some chemical additives like chlorine. Okay, then next is light pollution. So this is another type of pollution. It is actually a bad effect as a result of man-made lights. Okay, so light pollution, also known as photo pollution or luminous pollution, is excessive, misdirected or obstructive artificial light. Now, what are the causes of light pollution? So, degradation of photic habitat by artificial light. Photic habitat, you might have studied photic zone. So, photic habitat is nothing but the marine habitats which lives in this photic zone. Okay. Then, alteration of natural light levels in the outdoor environment. And due to indoor light pollution, human health is compromised. So its negative effects can cause human health related problems like cardiac, the disruption of cardiac rhythms, then sleeping disorderness, then depression, etc. And in order to control the light pollution, we can always avoid excessive lighting, and for lighting, an applicable design should be followed. That is, if natural light is available, you can always avail it. And if there is more darkness, in that place alone, you can fix or you can give artificial lightings. Then next is noise pollution. So this pollution is generally defined as regular exposure to elevated sound levels that may lead to adverse effects in humans or other living organisms, like airports with constant elevated sounds from air traffic, that is planes taking off or landing. Okay, so the sources of noise pollution includes machines, transportation systems, motor vehicles, aircrafts, trains, and poor urban planning. How this poor urban planning causes noise pollution? Actually, it is a leading source of dissatisfaction for the city residents. Okay, the level of noise in many cities can cause serious and long-term harm to health. Noise not only makes hearing, this concentrating and working more difficult, but also it also disturbs our sleep. Then what are the effects of noise pollution? It affects both our health and behavior. And unwanted sound, which is also called as noise, it damages our psychological health. And noise pollution can cause many disturbances like annoyance, aggression, hypertension, high stress levels, hearing loss, then sleep disturbances, and other harmful effects. And you will be knowing exposure to excessive amount of noise may cause noise induced hearing loss, especially the older people or the aged people working in factories and industries, when they are exposed to more amount of noise, what happens? They will be experiencing hearing loss compared to the other younger people. Okay. Next is soil pollution. So this pollution, it is actually defined as the persistence of chemicals or salts, toxic compounds, or radioactive materials that have adverse effects on animal health and plant growth. So it is typically caused by industrial activity, agricultural chemicals, and improper disposal of waste. So these soil contaminating chemicals include petroleum hydrocarbons, polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons, pesticides, lead, and other heavy metals. Now, how to control this soil pollution? Always limit the use of fertilizers and pesticides. Then overgrazing, that must be controlled. Then treating waste of industry. So industrial effluents must be treated well before it is diverted to the river water or any other water body. Then treating nuclear waste, proper disposing of plastics and other garbage materials. So these should be done in order to control the soil pollution. So like any other pollution, the soil pollution also affects our health, effects on cardiovascular health. It affects our breathing. It can cause asthma, and it eventually leads to cancer. Now coming to the next topic, pollutants. Pollutants are any substance causing nuisance or harmful effects or uneasiness to the organisms, or it can also be defined as any substance which cause pollution is called pollutant. So that is a simple definition. Now what are the classifications of pollutants? Pollutants are basically classified into 4 types depending upon various factors. So we'll see one by one. First one, depending upon their existence in nature. So how they exist in nature, how the pollutants exist in nature. According to that, there are 2 classifications. One is quantitative pollutants and next one is qualitative pollutants. So quantitative pollutants are nothing but these are the pollutants which are normally occur in environment itself, but due to its increase in concentration, because of this unmindful human activities, the quantitative pollutants occurs. So one of the example is carbon dioxide. Okay. Next one is qualitative pollutants. So these pollutants are not a naturally occurring pollutant, but they are added by human activities. For example, insecticides. Then second one, depending upon the form in which they persist after being released into the atmosphere. According to this, there are 2 classifications, primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. So the primary pollutants are pollutants which are emitted from the source and they always persist in the environment as such. For example, ash, dust, hydrocarbon, these are primary pollutants. Now what are secondary pollutants? These pollutants are formed from the primary pollutants. So primary pollutants, when they combine together, it forms secondary pollutants. For example, SO3, ketones, aldehydes, PAN, etc. Then third type of classification is depending upon the way in which they are removed or accumulated in the environment. So those are biodegradable pollutants and non-biodegradable pollutants. So biodegradable is nothing but they can be degraded or decomposed by the living organisms. For example, wood, sewage, paper, etc. And non-biodegradable pollutants are not degradable, okay, by the living organisms. Example is DDT, plastic, insecticides. Now the final one, depending upon the source of pollutants, they are classified into natural and man-made. Natural pollutants are released from natural resources like volcanic eruptions, wind-borne dust, release of H2S from decay of organic matter, etc. Man-made or anthropogenic pollutants are nothing but they are released due to human activities. Human activities in the sense commercial and industrial activities. Okay.